Thank you. Okay. What are we doing? We're going over all this stuff. Look at that fun picture. Boom. I respect your time. We're going to try to be efficient. We love that you want to be here to volunteer with us. So let's get right to it. Let's meet the team first. Ooh, maybe I need to move this old dog. Yeah, that works better. Oh boy. Oh boy. So the majority of our team is y'all. Okay. You are now part of a group of almost 400 snow sports volunteers that represent every type of Bosmanian. So thank you for joining us. On top of that, we also have some staff here. Well, many are new, many are returns. I feel this is awkward. So I want to introduce some of the people that you can go to when you have questions, if you want some advice on something. So Beth Wild Wings Wilson is the director at the Big Sky program this season. She'll be your go-to person on the mountain, expert. She lives up there. She can't be here tonight, but that's a picture of her and her family. She'll be your person to connect there. Colleen Smith. Colleen, are you here tonight? Are you on this call? Speak up, speak up. She might not be here. Colleen is the director at Bridger Bowl. So you've got Beth and Colleen at our two downhill programs. She'll be on the mountain most every day and you'll get to know her super well. She also loves cats and deviled eggs. All right, this is the one you want to commit to memory right now. Daniel King, our volunteer coordinator. For those of you who, maybe some of you in the room have been here in the past, we haven't had a full-time year-round volunteer coordinator that connects both mountains. So if you want to sign up for lessons at Big Sky or Bridger, or you have questions about things, this is your first point of contact. He will put you in the right avenue. So if you want to call someone or reach out, you'll have the information on who to reach out. He is always your first point of contact. Where Colleen and Beth might reach out to you. This is really who you're going to talk to, and he's going to talk to you a lot. You'll get to know him. He's got a great mustache. His title is this Bespeckled Conduit for Saddling Eagles. I think that's pretty clear. Neva can't make it tonight either, but she's part of the team. Maybe you guys don't know, we have a snowshoe cross country program, and we're including her this year. Also, new full-time staff member. We operate a crosscut in town. We do some field trips to the Yellowstone National Park, Rendezvous. We do nice travel trips with a variety of different groups. So if you are interested, if you haven't signed up for snowshoe cross country and you're interested, please reach out to Neva. She's obsessed with sublimation. All right, Drew. Now we get into our instructors. Drew's been around for a while. We have 6 snow sports instructors. They'll be jumping back and forth. You might be paired with them on a lesson. So it's good people to know. Company map. Luke, he's in the back of the room right now. DJ PJ, he's another instructor you'll be getting to know. Delaney Kearns, she actually sent me a real picture of herself, but I've decided not to use it. Because this is more fun. She's been with us. She's been with our summer programs and was an intern with us last winter. Super fantastic. Bree Daniels, another second season with us. Paige, former volunteer, another adaptive instructor. These are all the instructor positions are all new this year. It's really exciting as both programs grow and the community grows. We're trying to really balance the numbers of staff and volunteers, and so that, you know, not only do we have people that are trained a lot, but people that you can connect with and feel like you can learn from. BK, Brian. Are you here, Brian? No. Everyone had a long weekend of on snow training this weekend, so they're all ignoring me. It's fine. It's fine. No one wants to be here. And that's little old me. Okay, who we are. And then I'm the snow sports director. So I'll be bouncing back and forth between mountains and helping out with trainings. And really, if you want to chat, I'd love to get to know all of you. If you have questions, and yeah, that's what we're about. Who are we? This is our 40th year anniversary, started by Bob and Greta Mathis. Originally it was with the snow sports program and some horsemanship stuff. So this has been going since the 80s. It's important to highlight that while our volunteer group is the largest for snow sports, we do lots of things. Right now, those of you who are here are on what I call Eagle Mountain campus. And we have a variety of, hi, Rochelle, people we haven't seen in a while. We have a variety of year-round programs. So I'm just going to go through them. If you ever want to do any of these other programs, similar volunteer experiences, we have on this campus, we have theater, dance, the arts, family engagement, horticulture. We have a therapeutic indoor year-round swimming pool in there. There's a variety of program. And then we've got our horsemanship program that has indoor, outdoor, year-round lessons. In the therapeutic horsemanship realm, we have about 20 horses that live here year-round, plus 3 mini horses that are my favorites. What else did I miss? Oh, and then our team, the rec team that does the snow sports, we do all the seasonal programming and the things that happen, most of the things that happen off campus. So right now we're doing what you're here for. And then in the summer, we do ice skating, indoor rock climbing, and summer camp, overnight and day camp. And we do all the things we love to do outside in Bozeman: boating, hiking, camping, fishing, caverns, zip lining, on and on and on, biking. So yeah, so there's my plug for you to come back and do more. And we work with veterans. Some stats: we work at Bridger Bowl, Yellowstone Club, Crosscut, and All Around. This is just a little bit of a stat. This number has actually gone up. We probably do over 1,000 individual students each year. How we're funded. So we're a nonprofit, as many of you know, and we're very much a Bozeman nonprofit. The majority of funding comes from individual donors from our community, which is a really cool thing. It's kind of feeds itself in this beautiful community. People volunteer with us. The community sees us out there, then people get engaged in other ways. So one of our goals is to reduce barriers of recreation. There's many. One of them is finances, and we do not turn anyone away for an inability to pay. We have need-based scholarships as well. So important to know that. Lucy video. Do I show the Lucy video? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna get it at the end. Do we really want to see the Lucy video? Are people freaking out right now? Okay, one moment. I didn't test the sound. This is gonna be a mess. We should show. Okay, bear with me. People really want to see the Lucy video. See if I can make this work. Okay, let's see if this works. Who is on my screen here? Jack, I'm gonna look for a thumbs up if you can hear the sound on this, okay? You can? Great, the room can't. This is fun. Hybrid models. My apologies, team. I'm gonna give it a couple of more seconds to adapt to this, and then we'll figure it out.
Normally call my wife about that.
Right? Oh boy. Trying it again. Trying it again. Okay, we can hear it, Jack. Can you hear it? Go T.
Hello, my name is Lucy. I'm 8 years old. My favorite color is red. My favorite animal is my dog. My favorite food is top ramen soy sauce. And I have autism and epilepsy. So yeah, I'm a little bit different than other kids. But that's okay. Bye, Oliver. Because while there are some things I can't do, I've learned that there are a lot more I can.
Come on, Lucy, we've got to go.
Okay. My mom and dad told me about Eagle Mount when I was 3. They told me it was a place where I could learn to swim and play. And so I did.
I'm flying like an eagle, I'm circling the sun. I wanna do so many things, things I have never done. Just show me where the path gives out, and that's where I'll run.
And I realized I really like to swim and play.
I'll never be a passenger for what someone else desires. I'm wild as the lavender, but hungry like a fire.
And then I met my friend Lexi. And she said Eagle Mount was also a place where I could learn how to rock climb. And so I did.
All comes down to this growing feeling. It's in my blood, it's what I'm needing. One ball bound, raise it towards the ceiling for the lucky ones.
And then at Eagle Mount, I met another friend named Claire who works with the horses. She told me that if I wanted, she would teach me how to ride one. And so, of course, I did that too.
Made to be ever free. All I know is I'm going to let go. Made to be ever free. All I know.
I'm really glad Eagle Mount exists. Because if it didn't, I don't know if I ever would have learned how much I can do.
Lucy, we're here.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Eagle Mount, for showing us we can.
Glad you enjoyed it. Awesome. So that gives you a little bit of an overview of kind of what people can do here. We do a lot of different things with a lot of different people, and Lucy is a great example of a powerful person that hangs with us. Let me get this back going here. That's not what I want. Who's doing this? Thank you for your patience. All right. So what is adaptive? Every lesson is adaptive. We are modifying or building an experience that's person-centered. We can do that in so many ways, and it's a lifetime of learning in the coaching of these ways and the awareness of how can we work with people from where they're coming from. So we can change the environment, the goals, the communication, the coaching styles, the equipment, all these things are part of the offerings in the on-snow trainings and some of the drylands that we do. So if you're ever curious about specific ones, bring that to our attention. You can see great pictures here. We're always having fun, safety, and then fun, and then learning. So you see all of the fun happening. We've got equipment up there, different methods. We've got some sit skiers, all the goodies. What does it take to be a volunteer? Really, a willingness to learn. Safe, fun learning, that is our model. Those orders, that order, thoughtful communication, confidentiality, our policies, commitment to lessons, and commitment to training days. So a willingness to learn is really the main thing. We don't expect everyone to know all of it right away. We don't expect you to go to 2 days of training and be like, okay, I'm ready for lessons. No, this is a lot, like I said, a lifetime learning journey. So really, we just want that openness and the acceptance of sometimes we feel uncomfortable, and that's okay. We'll work through it as a group. And then commitment to lessons and training days. We understand that you're volunteers, and we want to help everyone balance work and their lives and all the things. So we're so appreciative of you spending your time here. And we'll always be flexible. We just ask that you communicate with us as best as you can, because students and other volunteers are going to be relying on you for the days you're signing up. Eagle Mount outcome, safety, fun, and learning. There it is. Have a good time. That's why we're doing this. Person first language, where we do quite a bit in on snow and in these clinics, dryland clinics around ableism and disability awareness and concepts of this nature. Some people don't spend a lot of time around people with disabilities, and sometimes we have unconscious bias, or we're uncomfortable and we don't know how to behave, and that takes time. We all mess up around the language, and we never intend to make people feel like they are other, but sometimes we do. So we start to coach the language first. That's our kind of conduit to open up the brain. Obviously, we banned the R word. We haven't used that in a long time. It's actually banned by the president in 2010. And then we focus, the basis is we focus on person first language. So you are a person with a disability. So a child with autism, a child with Down syndrome, you are a person first. So when we refer to them using speech, we do that. That's not to say it's the right way. There are some people that with disabilities that identify and use identity first. So some people own, like, I'm an autistic person, and that's part of their identity, and they own that label, and they want that to be part of how they're called. But we start here and we adjust if people adjust, but that's a good way to start. We all have varying abilities physically, intellectually, socially, and we all have strengths and weaknesses, and that's the beauty of it. The disability world, there are a lot of labels and there are a lot of diagnoses, but understanding that we all have different categories of needs, and we need to figure that out with each other. The labels become less and less important over time. Focus on inclusivity. I don't know, I didn't write that piece. Inclusivity. All right, confidentiality. Please share stories. Do not share names. When using social media, please don't tag photos with names and participants or post stories that show people in a negative light, and use discretion when friending participants. So we have media releases here at Eagle Mount, and not everybody signs those. So you can't assume that everyone's cool with their image being shared in your social media or out in the world or to your friend or whatever. So really be careful. If you want to like really, you love a picture and you want to share it or something, we would want to engage all parties involved. and figure out if that's okay. But it takes, you want to be careful with that. Use discretion when friending participants. You will make honest friendships with volunteers, with staff, with students. And when you make honest friendships, you can friend them and use them on social media. Sometimes if someone is less aware of boundaries and social boundaries, and they ask you to friend them on Facebook or share their phone number with you or ask you for your phone number, sometimes that feels really uncomfortable. And if it's uncomfortable, just let them know that. I'm uncomfortable giving out my personal information, but something of that nature, because we all need to learn boundaries. I have met many volunteers that have fallen into the trap of giving their phone number because it's easier. It's like, okay. And then they get hit up with a bunch of texts, and then I get in the middle of it and I have to teach about boundaries for everybody. So just know that it's okay to friend people and chat with people, but if they're genuine friends, like, make those relationships real. Please be considerate of participants and respect their privacy. Okay, I've been talking at you a lot. This is where I do a group photo. All of you who are on the computer, when I count down, everyone strike a pose. I'm gonna do a screenshot, and everyone's here. I'm gonna do a selfie. I'm not gonna share it. I'm just gonna get your mind working. All right. Go inside yourself. Find your spirit animal. When I say go, I want you to express your spirit animal through your arms, hands, and face. Do we understand the assignment? Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Love it, love it. Looking. Oh my gosh. Ooh. Love it. Do we feel alive? Our spirit animals have come out a little bit. Good. Back to business. I love it. You guys are fantastic. Eagle Mount policies. Like I was saying, we want you to feel supported when you're entering this world. You'll go through the 2 days of training. You can always go through more if your time allows or your interests allow. But when you start lessons, you'll be paired with a student and a return volunteer or a staff member. So it's multi-directional learning. You'll be learning how to coach. The students will be learning how to do their thing. The other coach will be learning how to help everybody involved or work with everybody involved. So yeah, if you ever are out in a lesson, you're like, I'm uncomfortable with this, make somebody aware, if you don't feel supported. You're an Eagle Mount representative when you're wearing your bib. So we've got these nice blue bibs. When you have that on, we just ask that you treat people like you represent Eagle Mount. All right. If you're somebody who normally loves, chastising lift operators, if that's part of your personality, press the hold button on that when your volunteer bib is on. Okay. And around town as well. Adaptive equipment usage, separate trainings. If you're interested in that, let us know. And then our code of conduct, pretty obvious, but we need to say it. 0 tolerance for drugs, alcohol, or impairment while you're in the lesson experience. So have to say it. We do not administer medication for students. They either need to administer it themselves or bring someone who can do that if it's something they need all the time. But just know that's not something you do. And then no bathroom assistance. People either, again, need to have the ability to use the restrooms on their own or have someone with them who can do that. Protect yourselves. One of the reasons we have 2 volunteers is so that everyone feels supported in the coaching realm, but also that's so everyone is protected in the liability realm. So, know that you're not going to go into closed spaces or other outside of bathrooms. Don't try to be one-on-one with people as little as possible to protect yourself and to protect our students. All right. Lesson resources. The humans around you are resources. PSIA, Professional Ski Instructors of America. It's a certification. It's an association that provides kind of standards and learning resources for all the snow sport disciplines. So there, it's a good avenue to go. We have lots of creative cabinets of books and games and things. We love it when people are like, man, I'm out of tricks. And you come to us and we give you some tricks. PSIA website, it's a membership, yearly membership to be on PSIA, but they also have free like webinars, online learnings. It's like, what does it mean to be a new instructor and the lesson experience, just to get people's minds moving if you're interested. And then our YouTube, Eagle Mount Bozeman. We've got snow sports webinars as a playlist. You can go back and there's stuff like behavior management and disability awareness and some first person narratives from the perspective of people with intellectual disabilities and physical disabilities. So there's a lot of fun webinars on there too. Adaptive equipment, least restrictive environment. You'll learn more about this when you go down that path of the equipment world, but we just like to start this concept early. Least restrictive environment. We can pretty much bubble wrap someone and put them out on the mountain, but why would we do that, right? We want people to experience as much as they want to do. We want people to use their bodies as much as they want to do. We want people to be as independent as they want to be. So we adjust the equipment to be the least restrictive version to achieve their goals. Right. Here's some examples, some fun pictures. We've got bi-skis, which is 2 skis being tethered here, up here. We've got some 3-track, which is handheld outriggers, stand-up skier, 4-track, stand-up skier with handheld outriggers. We've got a bi-skier with handheld outriggers, snow slider, kind of adds stability. We've got mono skiing, this is 1 ski, and we've got waist tethering. So this is just a couple of things, equipment adaptations we can make during lesson 6. Luke, could you monitor the chat and shout out if anything relevant I should be answering in the moment? Okay, the nuts and bolts. Bridger Bowl is primarily a multi-week program. You know, Bridger Bowl is our community ski organization. So most of what we serve is the community. A lot of school groups from Bozeman, Belgrade, Manhattan, Livingston, they'll come regularly for many weeks. And we have 2 lessons a day, 10 to noon, 1 to 3. We ask if you want to be part of this program. There's 2 types of volunteers we need. We need people who want to sign up for a lesson and be part of that lesson every week, so that that relationship can build and that experience can be consistent. Obviously, we don't expect, sometimes things happen and you can't make it to all of them. That's fine. That's why we're also looking for substitutes. So if you don't know your schedule, others can say, oh, I can be with a student for the next 7 weeks. You can be a substitute, and we put out the lessons needs every week, and you can sign up for what you can make it to. So that's very much community, the local community at Bridger Bowl, regular program. We do a family event at the end of the season. That's super fun. So anyone who has a lesson with us during the multi-week program, we invite their siblings and parents and family. We give them tickets and equipment and say, hey, does everyone want to ski together? It's rowdy, super fun. But we need lots of volunteers for that as well. Lesson times, you can see the lesson times on weekends there, we adjust. So we get busier and we do, instead of 10 to noon, we do 4 slots, 10:30 to 12:30 and 1:30 to 3:30 as well, to kind of pace people out in the hut. Have a, you know, makes it a little smoother. Most of this, if you're college students in the room, we design the schedule around the MSU spring breaks or break schedule. So most, if you're a student, this should fit into your vacation schedule nicely. Big Sky is kind of a different lens. We have primarily destination lessons. People come from all over the world and they come for their vacations. So they come in blocks of time and you can sign up for as you're available. We try to keep lesson experience consistent, but we understand that some people can't take 5 days off in a row. So come when you can. Beth will be managing that along with Daniel. Other fun things, if you want to ski at Big Sky regularly, there is a multi-week program because there are people that live in Big Sky and want to come regularly. It's 2 6-week sessions and it's only on Saturdays. So if you want to ski on Big Sky every Saturday for 6 weeks and then another 6 weeks potentially, you're welcome to. We also have Emblem Camp, which is a camp for disabled veterans. Spring Fling, which is a day that celebrates our cancer camp. Special Olympics, which is probably one of my top 3 days of my life every year. We work with Special Olympics over on the Moonlight side to run full day of racing for Southwest Montana. People come from all over Southwest Montana. It's amazing. There's DJ. I think I dance more than I ski, but it's awesome. Lessons 7 days a week and same time slots, 10 to 12, 1 to 3. I'm blasting through this, but there will be time for questions at the end. Volunteer, what does this mean? Training information. We start training Thursday and we will go at Big Sky for the next Thursday, Sunday. We then take a break for the holidays and go to Bridger Bowl. All this should be in an email to you. If you haven't seen this information on an email, find us, we'll get it to you. You get passes for training days to be there during the day. And if you have any questions at the end about signing up for things, or you're not sure if you did sign up correctly, we can take care of that for you. As new volunteers, you're required to do 2 days. So every one of you will do the same first day, Intro to Adaptive Snow Sports. A lot of risk management, getting to loosen up our funny brains, getting out there, presenting a little bit, but getting comfortable with the safety parts and main pieces of a lesson. The second day, you get to choose. So you can either take adaptive snow sports equipment, Intro to Adaptive Snow Sports equipment. Maybe you're like really into that right away and we want to give you that pathway. You're like a tech-minded person, engineer, whatever, you're really interested in that stuff. You can take Intro to Adaptive Sports, or you can take Playful Progressions, which is we peel back the layers of coaching a little bit more. We learn how to break down skiing and riding into pieces. We make games of it. We practice those games, and we learn how to coach stand-up skiers essentially, or overall, but less equipment. As you can see, there's some fun pictures there. What do we got? Sit skiers, equipment, playfulness. I like to take my puppet out on the snow a lot. Puppet, he rages. All right. There's a lot of murmuring. Are there any questions? Boom!
The last slide you said you're gonna be at Big Sky Thursday, Sunday, is it Thursday through Sunday or just Thursday and Sunday?
Thursday through Sunday, correct. For Big Sky and Bridger Bowl. Starting this Thursday. Through Sunday. We sent out a form. Well, I'll get to you guys as well. We sent out a form that you can fill out, and in most of it's full, but we're going to add more days because they're really filling up, and that's a great thing. So use that form to sign up for trainings. If you haven't seen it, let us know. Your question?
If you can only train for like the Big Sky dates, can you still volunteer at Bridger?
Great question. Yes, the trainings are the same at both places. So if you train at Bridger, you can still be at Big Sky for volunteering, and the other way around. Awesome. Great questions, team.
Hey, Patrick.
Yes.
And in the chat, what time are the on-snow trainings during the day? Someone has work later in the day and wants to make sure.
Someone has what?
They have work later in the day, they want to know what time the trainings are.
Trainings are 8:30 to 3:30. Pardon me? Yes, the whole day. It's wild. There's questions over here.
Is the Thursday through Sunday? Do they happen at the same time in Big Sky and Bridger?
As far as 8:30 to 3:30 kind of thing?
Those days of training? Oh, it's training this week at Big Sky.
Oh,
Next week.
I see what you're saying. No, they don't happen at the same time. So the next 2 weeks are Big Sky, then a break for the holidays, and then the following 2 weeks are Bridger Bowl. Yeah, so if one's easier than the other. What's happening? Yeah. Great questions. Did I miss anybody?
Yeah, if we want them to, both of the like day 2 trainings, can we do both of them?
Sign them up. Yeah, I love that. We love, we're always learning. Everyone who's doing this will never stop learning.
Actually, another question in the chat, would it be a problem if I took my day 2 training, before my day 1, for example, playful progression is on 12:9, adaptive snow sport fundamentals on 12:17.
It's doable. I would encourage you. There are some foundational components to the coaching that might not make as much sense if you do it the other way around. They are designed to learn in a sequence. So if that's what your schedule allows, that's great. I would encourage you all to do it in the one day 2 order. Bring lunch or money for lunch. Your equipment, helmets are mandatory at Eagle Mount training and lessons. Bring your poles, but you may be asked to not use them but you can always use them if you need to use them. Warm clothing, we suggest that bring extra clothes. You're gonna be doing a lot of like bunny hill stuff and games. Some people dress for when they go out skiing personally, and you move a lot more when you're ripping than when you're playing follow the leader. So dress accordingly. Right? Unless you play follow the leader with me, hardcore style. All right, warm clothing and then questions to ask. Just make sure you keep the questions coming.
I'm a first-time skier, so what would I need to do for equipment rentals?
So good question. Big Sky Resort rents skis for half off. They give Eagle Mount a 50% discount, and that's true for everyone. So let's say you wanted to maybe try a snowboard if you were a skier, likewise, if you wanted to test other equipment, know that is a perk that's available to you. Have you skied before in the past? Or are you a never ever?
Never ever. I'm from Texas, so not much to do around there.
Nice. And what is your name?
I'm Jackie Hemphill.
Nice to meet you, Jackie. I'm Patrick. We'll probably connect separately to make sure we can, get you out there on the hill in a fun way.
Awesome.
Thanks, Jackie.
Thank you.
All right, and then the Eagle Mount Nordic program. Again, this is Neva. We'll be doing some destination lessons at Big Sky, night skiing at Crosscut. Night skiing, they do Thursday nights at a Crosscut. It's gonna be sick. We're also doing some, like I said, field trips. So if anyone's interested in that, please find Neva. This is the training for those. Nordic training, snowshoe training is on Sundays. These are all Sundays.
Patrick, another question in the chat.
Yes.
Can you talk about a shuttle or any established way for volunteers to carpool Big Sky?
Yes. So there is a free bus that goes from Bozeman to Big Sky pretty regularly. It has stops all around Bozeman. That's the kind of the common way. Our stage does that. So you can look up their schedule. That's the common way people will get to, if they want to take public transportation. And then as far as, other modes, we can't organize carpools, but you guys can. So if you get to know some of your people in your trainings, maybe you make buddies and you sign up for the same days, etc. You have friends that go up at the same time, you can sort those things out and we can support you as much as we can. That's kind of a diversion answer, I guess.
Where do we meet at Big Sky?
Big Sky is if you meet, if you're familiar with the main base mountain side, we are right next to the North Face and Burton store. Kind of as you're walking up towards the mountain, and the building's off to the right.
Where we meet for the training if you're going there.
For the training, you're gonna meet in the Huntley Yellowstone Conference Center.
How about Bridger Bowl?
Well, I'll get to Bridger Bowl in 1 second. What was your question?
Where's that?
The Huntley is the hotel that's right before the mountain, right next to the main base there.
Okay.
And if you went to right in the main entrance, they'll direct you to the Yellowstone Conference Center. But essentially it's as you're walking up the stairs, if you've all taken the train and got off the train, right when you're on the stairs to your right is the Yellowstone Conference Center. So if you park and then you take the train to where they drive. What's that?
The season ticket office is kind of right there.
Nope, so you're gonna get off the train, go up the stairs, and then there's a ramp that goes right down into a tunnel under the building, and that's the building.
I got you.
And then at Bridger Bowl, we'll be meeting in the shared space at the lodge. I'm trying to remember the name of it. The Saddle Peak Lodge upstairs. We'll use that space. Good questions. This is kind of a breakdown of the Nordic program still. So we do school groups and sit skiers and adults. And then those other adventures I mentioned. COVID-19. COVID-19 still exists. Other diseases still exist. So, but luckily things have calmed down a lot in the Montana and for the world, I guess. But we are still conscious that it is present, and we want people to know that for some, disease is a barrier. Even before COVID, disease was a barrier for some. So we want to be conscious. The way we do that at Eagle Mount is when a student signs up or their families sign up, they get the option to say if they want to take heightened protocols. So if someone clicks, they might want to meet their coach outside or minimize the amount of time in indoor spaces, or they want their coaches to wear a mask. They'll ask us that, and then we'll reach out to you and let them know what they would like, and you can decide if that's a lesson for you or not. So we kind of leave it in their hands to what level of precaution they want to take for disease protection. All right, these are some of the dry lands that are coming up. We've got another adaptive equipment orientation. If you're interested in that equipment, come to that one on 1-4. It's in this room. We set up different stations. You move the equipment, you learn the parts, pieces, vocabulary. It's a really good jump start to using it on the mountain. Physical disability awareness already happened. We're gonna post that webinar. It hasn't been posted yet. We'll post that webinar online on our YouTube. There's another one on there already. And then we have a special presenter, who is Vasu. If anyone knows Vasu, he used to work here and he does great work in the world of disability justice, social justice. He's going to teach us about ableism and recreation. So if you want to kind of heighten that part of yourself or become more aware, he's always a great, it's always a great opportunity to hang with Vasu. And that's the 14th. And then cognitive intellectual disability awareness. We're going to do another one of these. It just isn't out yet. So we're going to send you more emails. Look out for our emails with updates, and we'll add trainings, on snow trainings to the mix, and we'll add some dry lands. It's always a good sign when we need to add more. That means more people are coming to us. It's like a super exciting season. Okay. Frequently asked questions. The voucher system. So when you coach a lesson, you get credit towards a voucher for each mountain. So you get a credit for the voucher at that mountain. So if I'm at Big Sky and I do 4 lessons, so 4 2-hour lessons, I get a voucher to use for myself or to give to someone else for another day. You also get a lesson ticket, or you get a lift ticket every day. So if you come up and do a morning lesson, you can ski the afternoon on an Eagle Mount ticket. Or if you come for an afternoon lesson, you can ski all morning on an Eagle Mount ticket. The same at Bridger, 4 lessons, 1 voucher. They don't cross over, however, unfortunately. So you're kind of accruing them at the different mountains for each mountain. May I teach more than 1 lesson a day? Yes, you can teach 2 lessons a day if you're really rocking and rolling. Do you need your own equipment? This is no. But the alternative would be to rent gear from each mountain for 50% discount. We do not have an age restriction. However, if you're under 18, you will be put in our apprentice program, and that's just a little higher level of oversight. You still get on lessons, but you do additional days of training throughout the season. If you're under 18. And training days do not count towards vouchers at this time.
If you have your own season pass, do you just get a voucher you can pass on to somebody else for a day you work?
Good question. Unfortunately, no. So if you have your own seasons pass, you can't use the ticket you would get from us for someone else. That would just be your ticket. You would use your ticket for the day, unfortunately. But it's a good consideration. We're always looking for different ways to increase the incentive program and to approach these mountains, and we renegotiate those regularly. Yes,
I think the question was about the vouchers, still in the vouchers, even if you got a season.
if you have a season's pass and you you coach a lesson, you still get a voucher, go towards a voucher totally, but not for you can't also get a day ticket for that day.
So you can give the voucher that you earned to it.
Yes, anyone you want. This is the Hut phone and the Bridger Hut phone, Big Sky Hut phone. And then the most important number there, if you're gonna program any number, is Daniel's. He's your connect. If you call Big Sky or Bridger Hut about like your schedule or training or volunteering, they're gonna refer you to Daniel. So that's a good one to know. And that's his email, dking@eaglemount or snowsports@eaglemount. Both of those are fine. Any other questions? You guys are asking great questions. Anything in the chat, Luke?
Chat, Cooper says, will there be any further documentation sent out for how to arrive at the trainings before they start this weekend?
Great question. Yes, we're just finishing up putting everyone in their groups and assigning their trainers. And if you are signed up for a training this weekend, you'll be receiving an email that contains more of the details on where to go, what to expect, the outcomes of the training you're looking for, so you can kind of get a gist of what you're going to learn that day, and any other details that might be necessary. Good question.
You mentioned that you were looking at adding more days. One question is that for the Big Sky? Second question, is that going to be on the same days? So there's more spots on the same days that are different days of the month?
Good question. We're not adding additional days, but we're adding additional trainings to the days that are already existing. I actually realized just before this that I have openings for Saturday and Sunday. I believe if anyone needs more, needs to squeeze in this weekend that hasn't already signed up. Great questions. What else do we have?
There's about, slides can be posted.
Yes. I can just send you the slides, or most of this comes in emails in different times.
Okay.
Yeah. Question from the webinar or from the online.
Yeah, do we show up for our first day on snow training geared up at 8:30?
Good question. No, you're gonna show up at the Yellowstone Conference Center and you'll have the ability to gear up. We really try to maximize on snow time, but you will have like 15 to 30 minutes to gear up and get some initial information, each group, let everyone arrive, all those types of things. Good question. Yes.
Will there be, if you didn't show up in your gear, could you keep your stuff in a place in the conference room, so like stored in those rooms?
Great question. Yes, you can store during the day, you can store your equipment in the conference room. We can't leave that stuff in there overnight though, sadly. But yes, that is it's kind of nice to have our own space. You don't have to negotiate the lodges and the other indoor spaces if you don't want to. Great questions. Anything else in the chat there, Luke?
Sandy said, if you volunteer 2 times a day, does that count as 2 vouchers?
Yes. Every 2-hour lesson goes towards your voucher. So 2 times is half a voucher. Good question. Really getting the nuts and bolts sorted. Anyone else? Anyone like, man, what's the lesson going to be like?
Say one was on the fence whether they want to do alpine or Nordic ski.
Yeah.
Is there anything against taking the training and then making the decision? Or would you prefer that we pick an avenue before so that we're not occupying
I
a
say
training spot that is not going to be utilized down the road?
that's a really thoughtful consideration. But follow your little curiosity heart. Do both. Find out what works for you. Love it. Yes,
What if you're only able to make it to day one on one weekend and then day two on a separate weekend? Or if it's on like a different mountain, is that still okay? Or is it-
ooh, you'll have to make new friends. But yes, and yeah, especially when you do it in that order, day one and then day two down the line. That's perfectly fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are the lessons that you look
Oh, what is the lesson typically? Look, he's got me. What's your name?
at?
Felix, thanks for being my supporter. What does a lesson typically look like? You show up anytime before 9:30 if you were in a morning lesson. You go to where we meet. So at Bridger and Big Sky, they're different, and we have videos for those. So like, if you're going to do a first-time Bridger lesson, there's like a fun video on these are the steps. This is where I park. This is where I go, and all these things. And we're making the one for the Big Sky as well. So you show up at our hut. There are different places. You meet whoever's working the shop that day. You've known kind of whose your lesson is, or maybe you've said come up to be a flex position, but you have a little idea of what kind of lesson you're on. You go in, there's a bio sheet, so some information on your student, and potentially if they've been there before, a progress note. So you might be able to look at the progress note and say, oh, yesterday this person did 8 runs and these were their runs and these are the games they loved and this is their interests. So you can get some information to kind of help you before the lesson. And then we ask that you, at the latest, you're there 15 minutes before the lesson. You meet the student, get to know them, get to know their families, assist in getting ready if necessary, and then go out on the snow. That is going to look different for everybody. Maybe they're out the whole time. Maybe they come in and they go in and they come out. They take lots of breaks. But that's really just the beauty of it. That's where the real magic happens, and how every experience is different. And then you come back to the hut. It's hard to really paint a real picture because every picture is different. Yes.
2 follow-up questions.
Yes.
One, I have a lesson at 10, and I get there at 9. So I have a free day pass. Can I ski or run?
Heck yeah.
Day pass, and then do my lesson and then keep skiing.
Heck yeah. Come and get the goodies. We open the shop at 8:30. So if it was a powder day and you want to come in 8:30 and wait in line for the 9 o'clock openings, power to the people. Just if we know you have a pass and then we're looking at our watch when 9:45 rolls around. Oh, I'm going to be so angry with love. I don't really get angry, but you get what I'm saying. What else? Bruce.
So same theory, if you come in the if you have an afternoon lesson, if you show up at 9:30 and ski in the morning.
Yes, same thing. You can show up at 8. If you have an afternoon lesson, come early in the morning. Ski all morning, for sure.
For your lesson, how do you know like who you're getting, when you only know it when you see your sheet? I was instructor before another resort, and we had a whole system of like, we had a 12-week program, and we also did like people who came in, so you kind of knew who you had the night before, and we would reach out to them and say who you were and you picked up. I was just wondering, like, only when you walk in the locker room, or how is that?
Really great question. So there's going to be a form similar to the form you guys are using to sign up for trainings, and it'll have all of the lessons that are coming up that are available, and they will be kind of general descriptors, not names, personal information, anything like that, but it might say something like, this is a sit ski tether lesson on green terrain. So you would know, oh, I need to be able to tether sit skis, or maybe this is a beginner lesson, beginners high energy children's lesson on the bunny hill. So kind of a very broad descriptor, so you can kind of pick and choose what you like, and you can kind of prep yourself for the mind state of the lesson, but you won't know the actual person until you're there. And then we also, for some of you, I'll get one moment, I've got you. You might we might ask you to come as a flex position. And that's kind of, if you know, okay, you're gonna come and we're gonna kind of put you where there's a gap or something, if something happens.
And to go off that, so if you can do the same person for 7 weeks or whatever the time frame is it day one, you're assigned to, you know, Johnny, and you're gonna have Johnny for 7 weeks?
Yeah.
Is that kind of how that looks?
Totally. And those are kind of my favorite.
Yeah.
I can't really have a favorite. But yes, if you can sign up for a student and stay with that student and your coaching partner. So the two of you can debrief the lesson every day and say, this worked, this didn't work. Oh, let's try this game next week. Or, you know, last year we had a volunteer who got to know, who built this entire imaginative world around Viking lore. So they were like simultaneously learning history and creating this imaginative over the course of 7 weeks. So you can really like build it and get to know people. Those are, and we have I don't know, we probably have, we've got partnerships that have been skiing together for 20+ years. Yeah. You know, it's pretty rad. What a question right there.
Yeah, I don't know if you already said this, but, like the ages, are they all kids or they're adults, and like how young? Or-
Mostly all ages.
Okay.
Usually the young cutoff is their ability to use the restroom. That's usually the cutoff for the youngest. And then, yeah, I mean, as old as you want to be out there. Luke,
Question in the chat, Anna says, are we able to request a friend to coach the lesson with, for example, 2 instructors per others?
totally. If you're both new, we might have like a fourth go with you guys to start. But if you want to coach with your buddies and carpool up and do your thing together and plan it when you're having your hangouts, awesome. Yeah, please request those types of things. Really great questions from the crowd today. What do we got? Who else? Yes.
In terms of participants, do you have any say like, I work better with children, or I work better with adults, or how that works?
Yes. We do our best to match people to lessons that we feel will be comfortable. So when you come to training, you're not just learning about Eagle Mount, we're learning about you. And then we do our very best to place you with lessons we feel align with your personality, energy, interests. So if you are with someone who you're just not connecting with, like even if it's a 7-week program and go through the first day or second day, and you're like, man, we just don't get each other. Some people don't get each other. That's fine. We can move things around. So yeah, we want that to be comfortable as well, to enjoy it. Great question. Felix.
Is there a close on applications? Like, there's no time when you stop accepting new?
No, but it gets harder.
Okay.
So if people apply after our scheduled training, it gets difficult to fold them in for that season.
If I'm home and tell my place to go sign up.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the last training is going to be on the 16th and 17th of January. So, yeah, they've got time. Yes.
You said the training that's scheduled for this upcoming Thursday in Big Sky, that's from 8:30 to 3:30.
Correct.
We needed to change to one of the weekend slots. How would we best do that?
Let one of us know tonight afterwards. We'll make a note.
Perfect.
Thank you. Wow. Anything else left in the chat? There's 30 comments in the chat and I feel like I haven't heard 30 things.
I'm feeling some questions in the chat.
Oh, you are.
One question is, if someone filled out the app today, and haven't gotten anything yet, what are the next steps to come?
Yes, there is a little bit of a gap in between when you fill out the app and then when the information gets to us. So just if you're online and just give us your email, private message it to Luke and we'll get you that info. Thank you for being here. Who else? Partners?
What's your favorite part of the lessons?
My favorite part of the lessons? Oh my gosh.
I like talk reading stuff.
Top three things, I can go I can go vague or specific, can I? I'm gonna say, my favorite part of the lessons. Overall, I laugh harder in my life than anything else when I am with you on a regular basis. I mean, some of that's my personality, but it is a refreshing lens to see the world, to come into a situation where you are also a learner and another learner and stretch your bounds of comfort. I think I would say to laugh a lot and to be made uncomfortable regularly. I've been doing this for 18 years and I still go to lessons like, oh my gosh, I hope I do a good job. You know, like nervous, like, well, what the person, are we gonna get along? Am I gonna know how to handle this? It's just the nature of it. And I'm very thankful for those experiences. So if you are of a like mind, I bet you Eagle Mountain is gonna rock. What a great question.
Great answer.
Felt a little bit like a job interview, so back it down a little bit. Luke.
Luke says, can brand new skiers learn to ski while teaching throughout the season?
This is new to me. I suppose so. We would just really want to know that. Because our on snow training, you go up the lift immediately. So if you are a beginner skier, we want you to be a part of us, a part of our group. We just need to be able to accommodate and give you what you need. I love the idea that people are like, I don't know how to ski. I want to ski instruct. We say that's a joke, but actually like those people are rad. Like to be able to like throw it in and be like, I'm going to do this. I already love every one of them. I just need to know so that we can make that happen and make it positive for you. Yeah, those are kind of like the guns. I don't think I would be that person. So power to you. Who else we got? Oh my gosh, you guys.
No blackouts on the vouchers.
No blackouts on the vouchers. Yeah,
Kid for Christmas.
there you go. Yeah. Mr. Anderson.
Sir, what would cause a day of lessons to be canceled?
Great question. We do our best to notify you early when lessons are canceled. The day before, preferably the night before. Sometimes things get canceled the day of that are out of our control, but if we know it's going to be less than 0 raw degrees, we cancel lessons. And that's the biggest one, is the temperature. At 0 degrees, we'll often call people up and give them the option to cancel if they want to. But we get out there most of the time. What else? Bruce, help me out. Why else do we cancel lessons?
When there was.
Every once in a while, there have been days at Bridger where none of the lifts open and we're all just down there. So that happens. It's an outdoor thing. Wind will shut us down at Bridger more than Big Sky. Great. That's a good one. Felix.
If I go up there and a lesson gets canceled and I'm on the mountain, do I still go?
If you show up, your ticket's not a bad word. If you show up to ski and it cancels for any reason, whether it's us or other forces, you still get to ski for that day. Or like, even if we cancel it the night before, you can still come. And if you're like, if the temperature is going to be -16 tomorrow, and we cancel all the lessons, wherever you are inside, you can use that ticket.
College is still wondering.
What's that?
College is still wondering.
I love it. What else do we got? We're getting to a little over an hour. Yes. Your name. You've asked lots of great questions.
Gabby.
Gabby.
I was wondering, I'm just curious about this, you mentioned at the beginning that you try not to turn anyone away, like as clients, customers, individuals. participants, for financial reasons, like, what do you see in terms of people, but like demographics, like, you see a lot of people coming from, like you mentioned, some schools that are kind of like local. Is it mostly wealthy family kids? I don't know what I'm asking.
Yeah,
Or you
yeah.
see Kids that are kind of coming from the background.
I understand. You really don't like rich people. No, I joke, okay, I joke. It aligns with the communities that each resort serves. Big Sky is destination, there's generally more money there. There's still beautiful families that come and visit us every year. We get built fantastic relationships and it feeds the Eagle Mount community. Bridger Bowl, you get as diverse a selection as Bozeman themselves, people of Bozeman. So about, I think, I'm trying to remember. I think about 30–40% of our Bozeman population is on full scholarship. And then we have, it's different levels of scholarships, can be like half, quarter, full. So really, it's as diverse as Bozeman, I guess, which I wouldn't call it an insanely diverse place, but you still see a lot of difference in socioeconomic status and culture and ability. So it's a beautiful place.
How did people who are coming from other places hear about the program that people run from Big Sky?
A lot of it's getting better. So awareness of us existing is another barrier that, you try to overcome. And we are on the Big Sky Resort website. We're working to become a better presence connected to their ski school. But they usually find us through the Big Sky Resort website. And then oftentimes in the culture of adaptive recreation, if you used adaptive recreation or you had a family member that did, people kind of learn to like seek out the adaptive program of the region, I would say. Which hopefully changes over time. Like I hope that people can call Big Sky someday and every person in their family can have the same conversation with one person and get dropped off and do their thing. But one step at a time. One rock. What other, now we're getting into the deep questions. Who else we got? Luke.
Just a reminder, the chat, are you able to repeat audience questions? So the chat knows what's going on.
I'm so sorry.
Nope, all good.
I'm glad I got that one near the very end.
And then can you please share the dates for the Big Sky lessons / events or show that slide again?
On snow training. Program. Yeah, for those of you in the interwebs, my connection's unstable. We had some questions about demographics. Talked about the difference in serving the local community here, at Bozeman versus destination lessons, lots of other things. I'm sorry I didn't repeat those, my mistake. What else we got?
Does Eagle work at other mountains in Montana, or are these the only two?
Does Eagle Mount work at other mountains in Montana? There are 2 other Eagle Mounts that are different organizations. But we work with them in certain ways, but they're separate nonprofits. There's one in Great Falls and one in Red Lodge. And then there are other adaptive organizations in our state that we collaborate with for a variety of different things.
So follow-up question, if I went home, but I normally ski at Red Lodge, could I work with them over the break, or would that not be a thing?
You would have to call them up. Red Lodge, there's a high possibility. I don't know their policy,
Okay.
but if you said, hey, I went through training at Big Sky, this is what I did. They might like call me up. Sometimes other organizations will call me up and say, hey, what are the outcomes of your new volunteer training, to see if like it aligns with theirs. And so, yeah, I don't know for sure. Can't speak for them, but it's possible. Right on. What else we got?
Is first aid encouraged or required, or is there any opportunity to renew or expire?
Good question. Is first aid encouraged, required, or is there an opportunity to renew? We've kind of just gone through our first aid cycle, so sometimes we will offer first aid to volunteers. We'll do another one in the summertime, going into the summer for that season. It is not required for the winter. All of our, with the exception, most every single event we do in the winter, we rely on ski patrol. Except for some of those travel Nordic events. But you are not required to have it. Good question. What else? Wow, you guys are a lot of questions. We're at 1 hour and 15. I only see like half glazed eyes. Anything else from the internet?
Nope.
Right on. I like not standing up because it makes it like a game. Does it feel rude? Because for me, it feels fun. Anything else, Luke?
Question from the chat. Brianna says, will we get emailed these slides?
Sure can. Why don't we just make that a thing? Let's email the people the slides. Luke just made the executive decision. Who else? No? Oh my goodness, yeah.
What's like the ratio, I guess, or like how many of the participants are like physically disabled versus like intellectually or cognitively?
Ratios of disabilities or diversity of disabilities. Hard to say. I don't have data for you. I would suggest that more people have cognitive intellectual disabilities. But that could be a lie. Yeah.
Do participants request, instructors, but let's say, I mean, the grapevine is the next season or the next lesson, they're not full program, they're not 2 weeks later. I say, I also want you again as my instructor.
Question was a great question. Can participants request the same coach they've had in the past? And the answer is yes. So if someone asks us, like you say, if someone was at Big Sky and someone asks, oh, I want to ski with this person again, we'll say, we're so glad you had a good connection. And we'll check with them to make sure that they, I'm sure they want to ski with you as well, but everyone's got different schedules, so we don't commit you immediately, but we'll reach out to you if someone asks for you. And then year to year, we'll go through, and if someone will always call the person that had the lesson last season and try to sign you up for it again, if it was a success. And you can say yes or no or whatever, but yes, we start with the people that were together last season. We don't just shuffle the deck again. Yeah, good question. Good question. I'm glad we're recording this one because you guys are like dynamo questions. What else we got? Yes.
Will we learn how to like sign up for lessons at the on-scale training? Like if we really wanted to do Special Olympics or spring break or something, like how far ahead we sign up for that?
Will we learn how to sign up for trainings or lessons at trainings? Yes, with the new staffing and structures, we're working on the exact system to put in place for everybody to sign up. But yeah, you'll have an opportunity at trainings to give us your availability, especially for the holiday season. So if you get your trainings done before the holidays and you want to coach over Christmas, we'll ask you for your availability for that early time, especially, and then we'll put in play the system that you'll access forms to sign up for the rest of the season. Yes.
What's your policy about tipping? At another nonprofit that I volunteered at, like I didn't want to take their money because it was really solely for well, but all the time we were offered like these things. Like, what's your policy there? Like-
What is our policy on tipping? Have you been a ski instructor in the past?
Yes, sir.
I can tell. I love your questions. The policy on tipping is, if someone hands you money and you accept that money, that is your money and you can do whatever you want with it. If you want to keep it, go for it. If you don't want to keep it, you can donate it back to Eagle Mount. We can put it in the volunteer appreciation fund that goes towards our party. Ooh, I want to tell us about our party. And yeah, so that's a good question. I saw one hand over here somewhere.
Oh, yeah, you get special parking.
Special parking?
Special parking.
Negative. And at Bridger, that really matters. If you have, thank you for reminding me, if you have an afternoon lesson at Bridger Bowl, make sure you give yourself time to get there, especially on the weekend. We all know Bridger Bowl. And then you reminded me of the party. After Blue Date will come out soon, after both mountains close, we do Eagle Fest, where there's 400 volunteers. So we search the pool of volunteers for people who have bands, and then all Eagle Mount volunteer bands perform for a day, and we just have an Eagle Palooza. We set up a sound system, and it's super awesome. Yes, Bruce.
Parking at Big Sky can be equally as bad. Starts in the A's and ends up at the other end of the alphabet.
Yes,
If you get there late, you pass the alphabet of your park.
yeah, those afternoon lessons.
The gold, that used to be the gold lot in Big Sky this year is a purple lot, so if you get 3 people out, then that's it.
Oh, I didn't know that. We had a great comment in the back. I didn't know this. If you carpool with 3 people or more, you get to park in a close lot where the gold lot used to be at Big Sky. So that's cool. There's also the carpool lot at Bridger Bowl. Yeah, great. I didn't know that. Thank you.
Are you gonna resend the email with the new dates? Because when it initially went out, I think we were limited to just a 1 day 2
Mhm.
training sign up. So if we can sign up for the other class now, or take a look at the other dates, is that gonna go out?
Yep, it'll be the same form and the same link, but we'll send out, hey, we just updated this. There's additional trainings and opportunities. Yeah. Someone asked if we're gonna let people, when we'll notify you of the additional trainings. Other questions? Luke?
McKinley's in the chat and she says, is there a volunteer Slack or some kind of chat to coordinate carpooling and other initiatives?
Is there a volunteer Slack? There's not. This isn't the first time this has come up. We will explore that. We will explore how to do that in a way that's respectful and safe for everyone involved. Yeah. Luke, could you make a note of that, please? I'm gonna forget that so fast. But it's a great idea. It's a great idea. What else do we have? How many long hairs do you let come in each year? Not enough. What's your name, long hair? Tony. I only other when it comes to hair. What else we got? No, then I think it's a good time to wrap it up. Everyone online, in person, thank you so much for carving out a chunk of your week to come learn about Eagle Mount. We really hope to honor the time you spend with us, and we really hope to hear from you when you have needs. So it's been a pleasure getting to know you kind of in this weird back and forth. But I'm really excited to ski with you. I'm coaching the Bunny Hill Burnouts, like 18 of them this season. So if anyone wants to ski with me and do one of those trainings, I'd love to have you. Luke?
Sandy has another question in the chat. On a 4-day weekend training, do they train number one and number two, and start again, number one, number two?
Yeah, so the cadence of training will be adaptive, new volunteer, intro to adaptive will be on Thursdays and Saturdays. And then the days where you have options, the two options will be Fridays and Sundays, if that makes sense. Sandy, have anything else? Awesome, yeah, so thank you. We're gonna be hanging out here chilling for a little while. If anyone wants to stick around, has additional questions or personal, if you didn't feel comfortable sharing in the group, we'll be here. What else? Luke, what am I missing?
Bradley wanted to say, learned a lot, see you in January, Merry Christmas to all.
Oh, regular old Dominic the Donkey, huh?
To all celebrate.
To all who celebrate, you added that. Bradley pushing his ethics on us. Classic Bradley. Love you, promise. What else we got? Okay, oh. Yes. Cardinals. Oh, this is a mound of 3. Oh, end of the day with a call. Yeah. Yeah. It's a free for all. Okay, thanks, y'all. That's all I got. Yeah, we'll see you soon. I'll be here with questions.
Hi, I'm Sadie.
Jerry Patrick.
Nice to meet you.
Likewise.
I just was wondering, we were so, pushed on teaching like the PSIA cycle, I guess you'd say. How, like, are you guys more focused on this